Anyway, hello everybody, this is Kyle, and today I'll be reviewing my music collection, CDs, DVDs, etc., etc. Well, these are all CDs. Kill 'Em All. This is all thrash metal, and I'll tell you which each genre and why I put them in that certain location. So right now I'm in the thrash metal genre, and the reason why I like thrash metal is because it's in the front, is because it's my favorite music genre of all time, because of my favorite band of all time, which is Metallica. So there's the very first 4 albums from Metallica. I'm not going to talk about each and every CD, but you can, if you know Metallica, you know each 4. There's the second 4 set. Then here is Death Magnetic and Hardwired. Then it goes into Megadeth. All Megadeth. That's the last of Megadeth. So then there's all Slayer. Last of Slayers. Then it's Anthrax. So now we're into the new metal genre, which is now Disturbed, which is my favorite of the new metal genre. And there's the first 4. Then there's the later albums. Then there's System of a Down, Korn, Papa Roach and Trapped, Five Finger Death Punch, Evanescence, Avenged Sevenfold, Hollywood Undead, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit. So now we're into the 70s, this is not the thrash metal genre. This is like the 80s hair metal and 70s and 80s hard rock. So then, 70s and 80s. So then there's AC/DC, Pantera, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath, Kiss, Iron Maiden. So now we're into the hair metal genre, which is Aerosmith at first, Journey, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, the last of Guns N' Roses, Van Halen, Poison, Genesis, Meatloaf, Scorpions, Dawkins, and Chicago. So now we're into the power metal, which is only really just one band, which is Sabaton. Then now we're into the classic rock, which is, not hard rock, so which is like the Beatles, Elvis, Queen. So now we put into Nickelback, because I don't know where to put them. They're not new metal, they're like a rock. So now we're into the alternative and grunge. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Californication, which is the Chili Peppers, Green Day, Smashing Pumpkins, My Darkest Days, My Chemical Romance. They're the queen of it all, 3 Days Grace. Now we're into the indie, which is basically my cousin's band and just a band that I like one of their songs. Now we're into the rap genre. We're completely out of rock. Now we're into the rap, which starts off at the NWA, straight out of Compton. Then it's Eazy-E. So then it goes into Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. Well, Ice Cube kind of takes over half an other page because I like Ice Cube. Now we're in my favorite rap artist of all time, Eminem, with his latest being Kamikaze. Now we're into Snoop Doggy Dogg. Well, it's Snoop Dogg, but he went by Snoop Doggy Dogg at that point. Tupac. Now we're into Bone Thugs and Harmony, which is basically In With the Rest. Crap. Wu-Tang Clan. Ja Rule. These are both Ja Rule. Coolio. Jay-Z. Dirty Old Bastard. Now we're into the Juggalo music. You know, ICP and all them. Twisted. The Insane Clown Posse. Now we're into the hip hop, which is Will Smith and Flo Rida. Country rap, Big Smo. So now we're into the country music. So here's the classic old school and outlaw country. Hank Williams Jr., Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, or Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. I don't have Chris Christopherson yet. Kenny Rogers, George Strait, Alan Jackson, Dixie Chicks. Well, now we're into the 80s. We're now into the 80s rock or the 80s country with George Strait, Alan Jackson, Dixie Chicks, Mark Willis, John Mellencamp, Confederate Railroads, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. These are all Faith. Trust me, these are all Faith Hill. Now we're to the pop country, which is Luke Bryan, Rodney Atkins, Kenny Chesney, Brentley Gilbert, Jason Aldean, and Eric Church. So now we're into the new classics. New classic, which is just Chris Stapleton. So now we're into the R&B. R&B starts off with Michael Jackson. You know, there's all Michael Jackson stuff. Prince with Purple Rain. Akon, R. Kelly, Michael Bolton. Excuse me. Now we start into the pop music. Ariel Lavigne, both two of their Ace of Base, Ricky Martin, Peter Cetera, NSYNC. Now we're into we're into folk now. So then there's John Denver, Bob Dylan right here. So now we're into Christian music, and that's just Skillet. And now we're into a reggae, which is Shaggy. And now we're gonna go into like my live albums and stuff like that. I should have had it open. Okay, so now that I got it open, this is all like live and multiple artists and soundtracks and shit. This is the Fast and the Furious, Straight Outta Compton, new music, country classics, encore, or this is basically not the regular album stuff. Told you I have the deluxe edition for Metallica. Metallica's live S&M, Rocky Balboa's soundtrack, the remixes of Five Finger Death Punch's American Capitalist, Metallica, my favorite Metallica songs, Titanic's soundtrack, just random shit, Megadeth's live, Ozzy Osbourne's live. Random shit. It really says random shit on there. Another deluxe CD thing that wasn't important. Random shit. WWE soundtrack. Compilation albums. That's all compilation. Nirvana's Unplugged. That's Elvis's Christmas. So Christmas is in there. Or CDs that I just have seconds of, like Michael Jackson. There's another live Beatle, random songs or random love songs. Another one I have seconds of Aerosmith, Disturbed, Weird Al Yankovic, which I I only have one of his. So then the soundtrack, bunch of Garth Brooks. I didn't have room in there to store all these, so that's all Garth Brooks. Smash Mouth, and Foreigner. So that's all my CDs. Now, if you want me to, I'll go into the CD casing, but I don't feel like doing that. So see you guys on the flip side. Rock and roll till death, and always remember to be yourself.